What's up, everyone, and welcome to my guide. So, today's guide is going to cover some of the common progressions, regressions, and tips to getting a better back squat. And if you've never heard what a progression or a regression is, basically what we do is instead of just heading straight to the gym your first time out there and throwing some weight on the bar and starting back squatting, you actually start with a little bit of an easier version, and not always easier, but sometimes it's a little bit more stable. And when you can get used to the lower regression, you can work your way up throughout the exercise continuum until you get to your ultimate goal, which in our case today is going to be the back squat.
The first exercise progression that we're going to look at is the wall sit. Nothing too exciting here, however, the wall sit will get you used to the musculature demands of a squat. Progression 2 is a bodyweight squat. Try to make sure that you're working on getting adequate depth and keeping your chest tall throughout the movement. Progression number 3, the goblet squat. The goblet squat is actually one of my favorite squat variations. If you can drive your elbows forward and keep your core tight, you actually get a good amount of work in your upper back and in your core. And if you can go through a full range of motion, you'll definitely feel a nice little burn in your quads. Progression number 4, the barbell box squat. The box is a nice little stimulus during the back squat due to the fact that it gives you an accountability partner. If you struggle with hitting adequate depth, or you just don't know where the bottom position of your squat should be, using a box can give you a consistent endpoint. You'll touch the box and then explode up to the top. Another way we can do this is where we actually sit all the way down to the box, pause for a second, and then explode up, but I wouldn't suggest doing that until you've actually mastered a squat. Progression number 5. Congratulations, you've made it all the way to your back squat. The next thing to decide is whether you want to squat high bar or low bar. Both of them have pros and cons, and I would suggest you find a style that works best for you. If you've worked through all the progressions and regressions of a squat and you still can't get to the bottom of a squat, the next part of this video is for you. We're going to go over a couple different mobility exercises that will help you get to the bottom of your squat. If your heels come off the ground in the bottom of the squat, more than likely you have pretty tight ankles. The next exercise will help you get through that ankle limitation. I would suggest doing this exercise for between 1 and 3 sets for up to 10 to 15 reps prior to squatting. Another drill that I really like for mobility purposes is called kettlebell prying. Basically, you go to the bottom of your squat, holding a kettlebell, and you gradually try to push your knees wider and wider. In the bottom of your squat, you'll also try to shift your feet wider and wider and just try to get the most deep position that you can possibly attain. If you've tried everything that I've suggested in this video and you still can't get to the bottom of your squat, I would suggest one or both of the following 2 tips. First off, try a wider stance. A lot of times people's stances are too narrow and they can't get to the bottom of the squat due to the anthropometric limitations. Secondly, if you can't get to the bottom, try elevating your heels. Sometimes this change in angle gets you a much deeper spot. If you like this video, please share it, like it, give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you.